Israel continued its attack on Gaza as a deal to pause the fighting reached on Tuesday is waiting to be put into effect. AP correspondent Charles de Ledesma with more.
The announcements capped weeks of indirect Qatari-led negotiations between Israel and Hamas. The US and Egypt were also involved in stop-and-go talks to free some of the roughly 240 hostages. President Joe Biden has welcomed the deal, saying Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has committed to supporting an extended pause to make sure that the hostages are released and humanitarian aid can be sent to Gaza. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Hamas is a U.S.-designated terrorist group. China is calling for restraint in reaction to North Korea's satellite launch. Both the United States and South Korea condemned the North for launching the satellite in violation of UN sanctions. Dutch voters appear to be hoping for a change in a close election.
Well, the past years, for way too long, the government has been very right-winged, I think you say in English. And please, 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 let there be a left win today.
Opinion polls show at least three parties, including the anti-Islam firebrand Geert Wilders' Freedom Party, could hope for the top spot. No clear leader has emerged. Voting booths opened at 0630 GMT and will close at 20 GMT. Catalan authorities on Monday announced the start of a pre-emergency phase due to what they consider the worst drought in the last 100 years in terms of duration, extent, and intensity. Some reservoirs are at 18%. This is VOA News. In the crazy drama at OpenAI, it looks like Sam Altman is coming back after being fired, then hired at Microsoft. Here's AP correspondent Julie Walker.
OpenAI says in a statement, "We've reached an agreement in principle for Sam Altman to return as CEO and a new initial board." OpenAI's board of directors had refused to give specific reasons why it fired Altman on Friday. On Monday, Microsoft, which invested billions in OpenAI, hired him along with another of the company's founders who had quit in protest. That emboldened a threatened exodus from the company behind ChatGPT of nearly all of the startup's 770 employees who signed a letter calling for the board's resignation and Altman's return. I'm Julie Walker.
It's been 10 years since the start of the uprising in Ukraine, known as the Revolution of Dignity. Here's VOA's Lisa Bakalets, who looks back.
The demonstration in Kyiv's main square, Maidan Nezalezhnosti, started when then-President Yanukovych declined to sign a pact with the European Union, instead choosing closer ties to Russia. The violent dispersal of protesters sparked even more demonstrations that lasted for 3 months, with hundreds of victims.
This is the place where I got one of my concussions because of the riot police.
Protesters claimed victory for their revolution when President Yanukovych fled the city. But their triumph was followed by Russia's annexation of Crimea and later the start of the Russian-Ukrainian war in the east of the country. Lesia Bakalets, VOA News, Kyiv.
The head of China's civil aviation regulator met with the U.S. ambassador in Beijing on Wednesday. They exchanged views on pushing for a substantial increase in air flights between the two countries. The very first World Cup for Spogomi took place in Japan, run by a non-profit organization often revered for its high standards of hygiene and cleanliness. They have elevated the art of litter picking into a serious sport by hosting the World Cup of Spogami to collect trash in the back streets of Tokyo.
So we've probably come to Spogomi more as sport, and what is really nice is we probably saw this as a sport and a way to visit Japan.
Thank you for watching. Can you do me a favor? Please leave a comment in the comments section below. That would really help. Thank you, and see you again soon.